My name's Joe. I'm Duncan's best man. So if you're looking forward to something short, funny, and a little bit inappropriate, you're a bit too late because Laura's just married him. So as the best man, I have some quite important duties to do. So what I have to do is I have to thank Duncan on the bridesmaids' behalf because I love his thank you. So thank you very much for your kind words about the bridesmaids. So as well, the most important job I have to do today is to make sure that Duncan remains stress-free and really has a good day. So that's my #1 priority. So a lot of people have asked me what I've got on my sporing quite a few times today already, and I've actually got Duncan's mobile phone, which is on vibrate. The mobile phone signal is not very good down here, you've probably noticed, but I'm told that once the speeches are done, the reception gets much better. So Duncan actually asked me to be his best man via text message. It said, best man, 31st of July, smiley face. And when I tried to reply, I realised that in predictive text you can't say get it up. So after a reluctant start, I really soon got into the role, and I'm here today. But I met Duncan, only met him, like Duncan said, maybe 6 or 7 years ago at a salsa class I used to teach in Leeds. And at that point Duncan thought salsa is something you have on your nachos, But if you see him having a go at some salsa later on tonight, you'll see that's very much still the case. So because I never knew Duncan as a young fella, I phoned around a few of his family in the run-up to the wedding. Basically looking for some dirt for the speech, basically, But without exception, his family had only lovely things to say about him. And he suggested that if I wanted something bad to say about Duncan in the speech, I would have to make it up. So I have! No, I haven't. What follows is the truth, or as close to it as you're going to get. But I think it's kind of my job to dispel some of the myths surrounding our dearest darling Duncan, and give you an insight into some of the man's more embarrassing endeavours in the years I've known him. So, but just for a moment, we'll just stop and talk about the love of Duncan's life. Which is, of course, toy soldiers! And paintballing! He loves them. He's absolutely mad about them. The paintballing, he takes a bit too seriously, in fairness. But he does cut quite a formidable figure on the battlefield. And that's not just because he's slightly taller than the other 12-year-olds. Not even that he prances around like some camouflage version of Michael Flatley. No, ladies and gents, it's because Duncan has got a very special paintballing helmet. Bright red with like a tinted yellow high-definition visor that he polishes up with special solution so he can spot his enemy with crystal clarity as he crawls through the undergrowth towards them. But the sad thing about it all is it makes him no better at paintballing at all. It just means that when he gets knocked out early, you can often see him off in the bushes having a fiddle with his helmet. So now to the toy soldiers. The toy soldiers, this is an obsession verging on illness, and I just don't know how Laura puts up with it. Duncan spends like countless hours up in his loft meticulously hand painting every one of these tiny little men. And then even more hours in other people's loft with other toy soldier enthusiasts playing war games. Oh no, I've gone off my train of thought. Oh, toy soldiers. Anyway. So the toy soldiers have been so effective at repelling women over the years that Duncan has lived what's essentially a monastic existence this whole time and Leeds, so he's very much still in the market on that fateful evening in October 2005. Yes, that's right.
At 10 p.m.
10 p.m.
Laura doesn't remember.
So they say that marriage is made in heaven, but this marriage was made in a nightclub called the Wardrobe. Where Duncan and Laura found themselves. So Duncan, when he's trying to attract a young lady, his most powerful asset is his fantastic dancing. He's really fantastic dancing. And he's got one particular dance manoeuvre which I love. I call it the Gordon reverse. I'm just going to do a little demo for you. He uses the Gordon reverse to cover the distance between him and his prey without being noticed. So Duncan, having spotted Laura across the dance floor, uses the Gordon reverse to make his way across. To get within striking distance. Now, the Gordon reverse is the kind of dance move that your average woman is powerless to resist. But Laura, being far from your average woman, is unimpressed. In fact, Laura's got some moves of her own. It's in a So Duncan, not to be outdone, falls back in his other big gun, and my personal favourite dance move of Duncan's, which is the rope pull. So after a few frantic minutes of reversing, rope pulling, Laura eventually lets him close enough for him to deliver the finest of all Scotch chatterlings, which is, "Alright Paul, how's it going?" It's closely followed by, "You fancy coming back to mine? I'd like to give you a look at my special little soldier." So you can imagine Laura's consternation and eventual disappointment when she realised to be Spaceman and Commander award-winning figurine. Nothing else. So now on to Laura. Laura, lovely Laura. We just love Laura. She's, as well as beautiful, she's clever, funny, kind, caring, and she's fantastic with very small children, which I think explains a lot about. She's a movie lover like Duncan. She's an absolute demon on the basketball court. And she loves butterflies, flowers, and really appreciates the smaller things in life.
I told you.
So all around, Laura is just a fantastic catch, and she really deserves a good man. So I'm just delighted that Duncan is married her today before she can find one. So there is one memory that stands out in my mind when I think back on all my years of friendship with Duncan, and that happened one very chilly Sunday evening on a very cold February a few years ago, when I was having a go at a bit of plumbing at my house, and it became a two-man job, and I thought it'd be a great idea to get my good mate Duncan round to give me a hand. So, being the good pal that he is, he shows up, and looking not entirely unlike the Chuckle Brothers, we set about the job at hand, which quickly goes from bad to worse, and very soon my basement's filling with water. And me and Duncan are powerless to stop it. So we decided this is the time to involve a professional. So we get a plumber on the phone. He says we have to get out the house and find a stopcock under the pavement which will stop the flooding to the house. So fly down the steps, we do it. Duncan slamming the front door behind me. We get to the pavement and look around and realise that Duncan's just locked both our house keys, car keys, mobile phones and everything inside my flooding house. And it's not warm, it's about 2 degrees. We're there in our t-shirts, and this stopcock won't budge. And I'm looking at Duncan, and we're both in silence, putting minds going, trying to figure out what to do next. And more importantly, how we're going to retell this story when we don't sound like idiots. And just at that exact moment, it started to snow. So I did look at Duncan, and I was thinking, you plonker. But I also realised that I had already instantly forgiven him, because he's just the loveliest lad, and I am absolutely honoured to be his friend. Aww.